Hello everyone, first day back this week now for work. Just a general chat on the way in again. Sometimes I like to just do these, just give you all an idea where I'm at the moment, and just, like I say with my vlog, I'd like to just sort of keep chatting about what I'm getting up to with my course and things like that. So, just like a general update from my week and what have you properly. So last week was pretty average week, just as normal, just done my normal work really. So work wise, just been getting on with things, and then it was Tuesday, I got told of my tutor from PT Academy, what I'm with, that I passed my practical exam. He said there's good knowledge there, I've shown good professionalism and everything else, which is great. So what I'm going to try and do is, when I get a chance, if not before this Friday, obviously I'll do it on Friday or on the Saturday when I have a bit more time. I'm going to put the full assessment video on. I did say, I think I have posted on my page saying I will be putting it on, have you. Don't worry, it is coming. I just got to make a few adjustments because I had to make every video clip shortened down so I could send them to my examiner, because the files were too big to send. So now I'll edit it all and I'll put it all in one video so you can see the whole assessment I've done with my wife and everything, and then you can just see what we did together, and it'll give you an idea of like what to expect with the practical assessment. In fairness, not being funny, as long as the main tip I'll give you all is, like, as long as you're prepared, and you do what the tutor asks of you. So basically he'll send you some information over beforehand, and they'll just basically give you a rundown of like what to expect so you can get prepared for it. And then what you'll do is you'll just read that, go through it, but to not overcomplicate it. It's not really that complicated, the assessment. All they're going to be looking for is level 2 standard stuff, so don't worry about being too technical and trying to be an expert, because they're not looking for that. They don't expect you to be an expert. Some people will be, because obviously they probably already have so much knowledge and experience anyway, but they just haven't probably decided to do the course. That's fair enough as well, but for now, just concentrate on being at the level 2 standard. So it's just, all I'd say is just like make sure you master that deadlift if you're not really familiar with the deadlift that much, things like that. Admittedly, I never really used to do a lot of deadlift, so I used to just do mainly squats with my legs or leg extensions on the leg curl extension machine when I used to go to the gym quite regularly. But I do all my stuff at home now. Unfortunately, we ain't got something like that. In the future, we'd like to, to expand our area where we've got our equipment. So I just do lunges and like squats and things like that. But yeah, so because you got to practice the deadlift, because you got that's a mandatory exercise. You have to have the deadlift in there. And also a bench press of any form. So I think as long as there's a free weight or machine, I think it can be a machine. So obviously you've got your Smith machine. They just want to see a deadlift and a bench press. So it's okay if you use a Smith machine, I think, as well. But I'd probably just check with your training provider. I think you can still use that, because at the end of the day, all you've got to make sure is that you do so many free weights and then so many machines, so you can see that you know how to use machine stuff and use it safely, and tell the person how to use it safely. And also I just want to see like free weight, body weight exercises as well. So basically just to see your general basic knowledge of exercise, how to do it and things like that, and see what how you interact with the person you're training. So, like with all that, that's actually quite straightforward. So, but like I say, make sure the deadlift's in there, make sure you've got your bench press. That's the main two mandatory ones. You have to have them in there. The rest of the course of that assessment is up to you. You can do any exercise you like, as long as you've got about 2 or 3 free weights in there, 2 or 3 machine ones, and then you've got 1 or 2 body weight exercises as well. So, you know, you've got to have at least 2 cardio sessions. You've got to have your warm up, which is dynamic stretches. Dynamic stretches are literally not actual stretches, they're more like movement stretches. So just a warm up one. So your warm up is just basically getting the blood flow to all your body. So just moving your arms, swinging your arms around and rotating your shoulder, you know, rotator cuffs or something like that, tilting your neck side to side, like rotating it, you know, just loosening the body up and getting your client to do all that. And like I said already, you'll have a parkour, you've got to do that first, obviously, and then tell them where the fire exits are, and then you just do your water fountain thing, just say that, you know, if you need a drink, just say that up around the corner. That's the sort of things they'll be looking for. And also, you know, when you're doing your cardio, make sure you're filming the actual bit what they're using, the digital screen, and just say, yeah, we're now done 2 minutes cardio, blah blah blah. You know, so you do like a 5-minute warm-up one, and then you do a cool-down one at 5 minutes. But make sure you get 2 cardios in, like, so you do 1 for warm-up, 1 for cool-down. So yeah, but I'm sure I've mentioned some of this in like my other videos, but I'll just give you like a bit of info about that. You know, as I put the video on, you'll be able to see all that, what I'm talking about now. Literally, if you just watch that, you know, and you follow that, like how I've done, mine was a pass, so, you know, as long as mine went perfect, you know, like, by all means. But I'm just going to show you that, you know, you ain't got to worry too much. It's fairly straightforward, really. You know, there's no need to be worried. So yeah, so I was pleased with that this week. And thanks to like some of you who have been viewing my videos, that's meant a lot, really. You know, like, you know, it's nice to know that people are actually watching it, and, you know, I've even had a comment. So thank you very much to that person. I'll get to know all your names properly and that as I go on. But I do thank you very much. That means a lot, you know, that somebody who's took the time to sit there and have a look at some of my content and said some kind messages. So that means a lot. Thank you very much, because that boosts my confidence up as well. Because what my vlog's all about as well is about me trying to overcome anxiety now, and I think I'm making progress. That's good, but also it's helping me get my confidence back in myself, because unfortunately anxiety can rob you of your confidence. You know, you get those thoughts in your head, and you start thinking, you know, like the worst case scenarios you can, you know, when it's bad, and then you can start questioning yourself and think you're not capable of doing things and that. But taking these actionable steps, I'm showing myself each day the evidence that against what that might suggest to me in my mind, you know, how anxiety plays on your mind. So that's really good, and thanks, like I say, everyone, that do really help. And I hope some of my videos can start helping some of you as well. Like, so if any of you suffer with anxiety of any form, like I said before, that's what this vlog's all about, to helping people with anxiety, and my experiences, so I can try and hopefully relate to some other people. So it'll help like people with that. And then obviously for the PT stuff, really, you know, like, this is what I'm trying to transact into at the moment currently. So, you know, and this is like I say, a journey, like showing everyone what I'm getting up to, real life evidence stuff, you know, like not just all the good stuff, you know, like, oh, look at me, I passed and I got level 2, oh, look at me, I passed, got level 3, oh, look at me, I now got a job in the gym, or things like that. No, it's going to be raw and real. This is going to be the real stuff, what's happening with me every day. And, you know, like, I won't be able to, unfortunately, post videos every single day, but weekly I'll show you and give you info on what I've been up to. But this will be like real, like reality. It's not like, oh, a content creator who's just like highlight reels are always like, oh, look at me, look what I've now done, I've done this. No, it's going to be like just a realistic, the real world. There's going to be no glorifiers to this. There's going to be, because healing as well, which I'm on a healing journey. It's not linear. You're not going to get days where you're only just going to get up, do something to try and help with your mental health or whatever. You're not going to get up in the morning and go, right, yeah, I'll do this, blah blah blah. I'll do all my journaling and gratitude journaling and visualization or whatever. You're not going to just get up and do all that one day, and then the next day later you're going to be like skipping and jumping and laughing and being happy all of a sudden again. You're going to be, unfortunately, sorry, I'm just getting in the gate. Unfortunately, it's an up and downhill journey, like that's what life is. And that's, I think, also with recovery, I think that teaches people about bring people back to reality, like that life is a series of up moments and down moments, but it's learning to accept them and accept that that's what life is. Like life's not actually fair. We're all going to go through times in life, and we all have been, I'm sure, like where something really unfair has happened to us, and we wonder why, and it's just the way it is. You need to try and accept it. And that's another thing I've learned over the years. I used to drink quite a lot. I mean, I wasn't an alcoholic or anything like that, but I mean, I was just your typical average youngster. I liked to sometimes go down the pub with my mates, have a few drinks and what have you, even though I wasn't really much of a going out kind of person. So I'm just now parked up, so I'll wrap this video up now in a minute. But yeah, I wouldn't say I was like one of these people who like to get down the pub. I wasn't really overly sociable in that aspect. Because when I was like a lot younger, I was like quite withdrawn anyway. I wasn't really that confident. So I wouldn't really mix with many people anyway. I'd just have a small group of friends who I sort of kind of trusted. And then like, if we went out to the pub sometimes we went clubbing, but only a couple of times. So I didn't really enjoy that, to be honest. Each to their own, but like, like we'd sometimes go down the pub, which I preferred, and I do quite like going down the pub sometimes to have a drink, but I won't like one of these every single weekend getting smashed with my mates down the pub or going clubbing. I kind of like had a small group of friends, like I said, but we were like kind of like in our own sort of circle, in our own bubble, so we'd sometimes go now and then have a drink, but more or less we used to go around each other's homes, around the houses. And like, I used to go down one of my other mates, his mum's home, and obviously he was living in it on his own while his mum lived somewhere else. Long story short, we used to drink quite a lot every weekend. I used to drink a lot of drink, and mostly on my own as well. So, but also I just realised what I was getting at is like, I've realised that most of the time when I drank, I weren't in the right headspace entirely, and this is me being honest. So I think I used to just drink, not necessarily because I really enjoyed it. I think I just drank to forget things, feel better about myself, like, which I'm pretty sure a lot of the nation now, everyone all over the world, use drink to self-medicate, and unfortunately that is, and a lot of people don't want to admit it, but there's, I know quite a lot of people who drink really badly, and some have real alcohol problems now, and they will never admit to me that it's because of their circumstances why they drink. As such, the stress that brings onto them, that's the reason they drink. They just go, I just love a drink, yeah, get rich, yeah, what's the point in worrying about things, blah blah blah. You only here once, and yeah, I get it, and enjoy life, but there's a balance, like getting wrecked like that ain't the answer, and that's what I keep trying to tell people. So, and that's another thing with my recovery. I'm trying to deal with things better, in healthier ways. But anyway, that's me just sort of just given my take on a little few things and that just towards the end. But like I say, yeah, it was just a chat, just general chat again this morning, and like I say about me passing, and then obviously what to expect. Yeah, and like I say, anything to do with any of my journaling journey or anything like that, it's like I say, it'll hopefully try and help people, with their career change into PT, and also, the mental well-being as well. So, but anyway, I'm now here at work, so enough chat from me. I think we've been chatting for now like 15 minutes on here, so I'll wrap this up now and leave it there. This Friday, I'll try and get my whole assessment video on there for you all to see, so you can see what you're meant to do for your passing of that, and then I'll start showing you some of the material I've been doing as well. I might just put a post on there at some point this week, just like a little picture, like just what I'm now starting to do on level 3, and I'll discuss that for you a little bit as well. Some of the stuff you'll be expected in level 3, like this will be like the theory stuff, and yeah, just keep you all posted and things, like how I've been getting on. But yeah, see you next time.